Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Living with Multiple Sclerosis. And I wanted to give everybody my outlook on how it is living with it and dealing with it, especially on a daily day. Since we all know that that's something that you cannot get rid of, is with you for the rest of your life, for the people that have it or the people that don't know anything about it. And how I wanted to start it off is to start off when I first got it. I got it in 2016. Well, sorry, I got diagnosed with it in 2016. And I'm start off from day one and we go from there. So I remember I woke up one morning and honestly, I felt 100% normal. I was actually on my way to work, and you know how, so this eye right here was feeling kind of funny, and I was like, you know how you wake up and it's kind of like blurry, so you think it's cold in your eyes, so you stay wiping your eyes and everything. So I'm thinking like that, and so when I get to work, it still feels like that, and I'm just like, man, what is going on with my eye? And honestly, it felt like I don't know, like a light tint on your eye, just a little shade darker, but me personally, I'm not thinking nothing of it. So a couple of days later, the tint got a little bit darker on my eye. And I was like, okay, so this is like maybe my second day of work at this time and everything. So I'm like, okay, getting kind of nervous, but could be anything. So I'll blow it off. So the next week, the same thing happens, or it's going on through the week. So anyway, the next week I'm at work, and the blurriness is getting worse, like on that particular eye, because it was to the point where if I'm looking at the screen, it's so blurry I can't read it on that eye. I'm like, what is going on? So I tell my boss, and he's like, yeah, go to the doctor. And I go to the doctor and I tell them what's going on, and they look at it as, of course, an eye problem. So it's like, well, maybe you need to go to this eye doctor down the street. No problem. So I go to the eye doctor, and I get I get in there, and they looking at it, and one of the doctors look at it and is like, okay, interesting. He's like, I'll be right back. So he go get another doctor, and he looks at it, and he's like, wow, I'll be right back. Let me go get somebody else. So by this time, it's like three doctors in there. Our doctors looking at me, and I'm like, eventually one of y'all got to tell me something. Like, y'all kind of freaking me out a little bit. So what's up? And it's like, well, we have a feeling what it might be, but since that's not our area, we want to recommend you to a specialist. Okay, no problem. So they end up shipping me off, like for that next week. I had an appointment for that next week, and it's like, okay, go down here, and have them look at you and everything. Okay, cool, no problem. But before my doctor's appointment, it went totally blind in that eye. So right now it's 100% black. Like I cannot see nothing out that eye. So by the time I go down there for my doctor's appointment, I'm telling them same thing I'm telling y'all right now, and it's like, okay, I would like to do some tests on you. I said, okay, yeah, that's no problem. Let's go, because I need to see what's going on with me. Since I just lost a whole eyeball, I need to see what's going on with me. And it's like, okay, we go keep you. I'm like, how long? It's like, we'll keep you probably about 2 weeks. No, no, I got kids at home. I can't do that. As at the time I was a single father, so no, they got things they need to do, and I got a whole household, so no, we can't do that. We gonna have to think of something. He's like, well, if we wanna fix this problem, we gonna have to do the test on you. So luckily family helped out, and because the trip that I made was out of town to go see the doctor, and I actually did that while they was at school, So um, I got help, and they went and got my kids and they brought them back to me and everything, and they literally kept me for the 2 weeks. And during the process of that, they did something called a spinal tap, where they was getting like liquid for my spinal cord. Which, if anybody ever been through that procedure, it's a very awkward procedure. That is a awkward procedure. And it's so crazy because they freaked me out. It's like, oh, it's a common procedure. We have done it many a times. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, cool. It's like, it's only a slight chance. If anything go wrong, you'll get paralyzed. I'm like, wait a minute, don't tell me that. Like, don't tell me that part. You should have told me that after the procedure. Now I'm nervous, but luckily most of it went pretty good because when they got started, my legs started shaking, and I'm like, hey, why my legs shaking? He was like, oh, I'm sorry, I must have hit a nerve. I'm like, can you like do it right then? So anyway, they got that procedure done, and everything went good. Now it did not help my eye situation. Let's throw it out there. Did not help that part. So they're like, well, let's do a a plasma treatment. I'm like, okay, what is that? And they was like, well, they just pump plasma in me, and maybe some kind of way that was supposed to help the eye. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because right now they just worried about, getting the eyesight back. And they tried it out, which that went kind of to the left because they inserted a tube in my neck pretty much. And the first time they inserted it, we finna get started because they trying to hurry up with it. We finna get started, and during that process, it wasn't working. So I was like, okay. So anyway, come to find out, the tube had a kink in it. Go figure. The tube had a kink in it. So they had to rip that one out and put another one back in. Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. So when that right there had happened, then they started the procedure and everything. And like I said, that really what lasted the 2 weeks right there. The procedure part, because they had to do it. They couldn't do it back to back. They had to do it every other day. So, and after they got finished with that, they told me, they said the procedure that's being done is a long term comeback. It ain't gonna just come back like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I have no problem with it. And so I do the procedure. I stay in there for 2 weeks, and I finally leave. And it was so weird at first because just the driving process and the normal day-to-day process, it was weird at first because everybody used to having 2 eyes that they could see out of, and you forget all about your peripheral and while you're driving, or even when you're reaching for something, it's like you uneven kind of. And it was 100% weird. And at first I didn't necessarily feel down about it because I still don't know what's going on because they still doing tests. So on the day to day, I still didn't feel down about it. It was just more of a I wonder what's going on with me, and because this is kind of weird. But right now, I'm waiting on the process. I'm waiting on the results to come back, and finally, they gave me a call, and it's like, hey, I need you to, come back down here because that's a 3 hour drive. So they're like, I need you to come back down here and talk to us, and so on and so on, and we go give you what we think it is and go from there. And I'm like, well, we're on the phone now. You can tell me now. And they was like, nah, we can't discuss this over the phone. I'm like, oh, okay, you must have forgot I got to drive 3 hours. So it's all good. But I ended up driving the 3 hours, and I went down there, and they ended up telling me the news, and I was just like, wow. And of course, I don't know anything about this thing. I don't know anything about it. He just tells me that it's uncurable, and kind of giving me the rundown through everything. And I was just like, wow. Because the first thing I asked was, hey, am I going to die from this? And they was like, no, no, no. But they did tell me that it's a crippling disease. And like I said, there's no cure of it. So I was like, oh, wow. Wow. So at first, because he even told me, like, look it up so you can have a good understanding, just in case you're not understanding what I'm saying. I was like, okay. And at first, when I left that office, I was feeling kind of down. I was just like, okay, this, I don't know about this because I don't know when this was gonna happen. But it ended up, I have a routine on how I deal with news, and and I feel like everybody should be like that, because if you hear bad news, it don't necessarily mean that you need to feel down about it, because that's not gonna help you out at all. Just throwing that out there. So if anybody out there that has something that went on in your life, disease wise, health wise, whatever the case may be, never feel down about it, because at the end of the day, it's a mind thing to me. And I feel like if you think about it hard enough, or you feel like you sick, or you feel like you going through something, you go make your own self feel down. You gonna make your own self depressed. And I'm not that kind of person. I try my best to look at the positive in everything, no matter what it is. And that's how I did with it at that moment. But for right now, I'm for to sign off, and I will have some more videos coming. That way, y'all can know my day to day, and we will go from there. So if y'all like the channel, cause I just started the channel, so if y'all like the channel, please like and subscribe and share, and I will hit you up with another video, and hopefully I can either help someone, or because sometimes when people hear things, if it's bad news, they feel kind of bad about it. And I just want to let y'all know that, there's no reason to feel bad about it. You keep on going, show your strength, and go from there. But for right now, I'm signing out. And until the next video, I will see y'all later.